In this video, we're going to look at Texas's run game and a few RPO reads that they've had just to continue to get their box right. But, of course, young running back Bijan Robinson had a big night, and we'll take a look at a few ways they were able to get loose. First play that we're going to look at is actually a quarterback draw. It's an RPO where they have fade out over here, fade out over here. They're trying to make sure that their numbers are correct. It's actually a six-man box, so it really doesn't look that great to run a draw. You just be even in the box there. But as you can see right here, Colorado's getting into a three-safety look. And with that being said, these guys are going to have to drop out pretty quickly. These corners are basically flat players. They're playing a little bit of a Tampa too. But we'll play real quick and see exactly what takes place. You can see everybody's hi-hatting. There's no twist or anything. Everybody's just rushing the gaps that they typically would to try to keep contained. Running back releases for that linebacker. You can see the quarterback's eyes go right over here. He's looking for space to throw that fade out. He knows that corner possibly can jump that. And that's what he does. These guys are getting out trying to guard those hole shots right there in between the corner and themselves. And you can see this center right here. He's set with the guard. And then he decided that he was going to release. Kick, kick, kick. 3 kicks. And he's going to release over there to the backside. And, of course, by the time he gets to the line of scrimmage, that ball would be out if that corner would have dropped. Of course, when he takes off, he's a lot better athlete than anybody really gave him credit for. He almost makes his safety miss right here at the end of it. He gives him one stick and almost is able to get in the space to make it even a bigger play. But really good game by that young man in the second half. And we'll lead a few more runs, a few more RPOs. Here's Texas running a little bit of a dash read. So when we say a dash read, you got the running back going that direction and a run going back over there. You got inside zone going that way. With an arc, you got your tackle, you got your fullback arcing out for the give. For if this end right here squeezes, anytime you can read a B-gap player, that also is one of those things that they're not used to being read, like a lot of ends are. So you can see really good arc there. They're going to work there up to a safety that's rolling right there. They're going to be man on right here. In the inside zone, they're going to get in great double teams, getting their shoulders on them. Should be going there to there. I think they get a little confused here. You can see he pauses. So there's a crease right there, so it's going to be a pull going right there front side. You can see these linebackers are running around blocks. This linebacker slips all the way to that backside B gap. And then this linebacker, so he knows he's in an open alley, so he's just going to sit right there. And Ehlinger just takes it right there behind the heavy guys that are getting good double teams. He's able to get a pretty decent play. But you can see what they were trying to do there. The numbers are right. He pauses a little bit, so he's not going to tackle the quarterback. So they pull the ball with Sam Ehlinger, and he gets vertical right there. Very similar to a lot of things they've been doing in the past with quarterback runs. And he's one of those guys that takes a lot of hits, and he runs the ball hard as a quarterback and does a great job right here of getting all he can on a 2nd and 5, trying to get a first down. Here's a first look of the outside zone. Seemed like Texas was running outside zone all game. Right here, they have a little tail motion, send him that direction. They see that it's man coverage, so he's running right there. Not sure if there's RPO element to it or not. But real quick, just talking about the outside zone, we'll snap and see what takes place. He's coming backside to block the backside C gap. So obviously he's got all the gaps covered, so it can be an RPO. His eyes actually go out there. No reason to read the DM when you're blocking the C gap. But right here, you're going to basically be singled right there. They're going to double that. A-gap player all the way up to that backer. And these guys are reaching there to that backside linebacker. Also, hopefully that motion will make that linebacker pause for just a little bit. Really doesn't pause because he knows it's man-to-man. So he's able to step up right there. And we'll kind of look at the technique. He's stepping right there. He's trying to keep C-gap. We want to try to get some kind of horizontal movement. Don't really have to get vertical movement on this play, but some kind of movement horizontally. He reaches that A-gap player, the center does, and now he's working basically straight up to that linebacker. He pauses a little bit, so he's not really able to stretch that and get to his outside shoulder. But again, he gets the body on him, moves him horizontally, and that creates a big gap right there. And we can move this back and see exactly what takes place here with the guard and center, or guard and tackle. They're trying to work that 3-tech. He gets to that spot he's trying to take over, and they basically double that thing. He pauses on this quarterback with the option to run, obviously with Ehlinger. He pulls the ball quite a bit and is a great option to run the ball. Right there, he's cutting backside, and he's blocking him out to make sure that C-gap is taken care of. And with that linebacker pausing, these guys stay on the double team, and now you got your running back in space, and he's running. Obviously, outside zone was really big for him. Lots of explosive plays on the night, but also it's a lot of negative plays, which that's one of the things with outside zone. You're going to have some really big plays. You're going to get in space. You're also going to have some negative plays, which they had to overcome. Here's another outside zone look out of a three-back set. Here they shoot their running back to the flats right there, giving the quarterback another option, especially if you get a pull read there from the C gap. But right here they're running it to their fullback. He's actually going to take care of that. D gap, they're going to double right there up. The center and guard are going to double to there, and they're going to scoop that backside 4, and could be a big run. We'll take a look at it. It ends up being a touchdown. You can see that 4-eye or 4 right there, real easy reach there by the guard. He gets just a little bit of hand working up to the outside shoulder. This fullback working to that outside shoulder, hopefully reaching it. He doesn't do a great job setting the edge. Obviously, there's nobody else out there to set the edge. He goes straight down the middle and actually has his hat to the inside. So that's obviously going to be a read where that running back's going to roll to the outside, which I think he kind of hesitates just a little bit. His eyes probably weren't quite where they should have been. He should have just been running straight to that spot. But again, not a pretty good run, pretty good job right there. We got to keep working to our hips to the outside. But he's able to get into the end zone right there for an early touchdown to get the lead for Texas. This is where Colorado ends up twisting a little bit. They twist themselves out of play, so guard and tackle, they're going to double there to the first linebacker, and that linebacker actually blitzes, so he disappears. Then the center and the guard, they're going to work there to the backside. He's going to scoop that gap. They stay front side with the fullback. They don't cut it backside, and Colorado's trying to bring a little bit of a blitz and play some man coverage, and they end up running themselves out of play. So he's in the same gap. He's in the same gap. Basically, they're getting gapped out. They're getting bodies on him. There's a free guy up. There's a receiver all the way to the corner. He's setting the edge, but he's not doing a great job of squeezing that edge and trying to make the hole smaller. He's wide, and there's a big gap right there. And obviously, when you get an athlete like that in space, he's going to create a big play. And they're lucky that he didn't go to the house. But obviously, outside zone is a great call whenever you're getting a little bit of a twist. Hopefully, you can sort it out. Right here, they sort it out. Colorado guesses wrong, and they get gapped out for a big play there for Texas.